The answer to every single problem you have is not more resources, it's more AI.
You pressed a button and the newspaper flew from one side to the other and a dog caught it. And like, this is back in like the late 90s. You know what I mean?
You can prove out in a concept for $50. Like, that's cheaper than some people's coffee budget.
But you're actually speaking their language. That's the part that we're missing right now. Welcome to Impressive Hosting, a podcast about the role hosting plays in shaping the open web. I'm your host, Jesse Friedman. On this show, we go deeper than uptime and dashboards. We talk about hosting as infrastructure, about ownership, independence, and what it takes to build ethical, high-end WordPress hosting that actually serves creators, businesses, and the internet itself. Before we dive in, head to impressive.host. That's where you can comment on episodes, ask follow-up questions, and help shape future conversations. You'll also find links to follow, like, and subscribe wherever you listen. We're back with Nick Hamze, the guy who's giving us permission to use AI to be weird and have fun with it and do some really cool things. We just had an amazing first episode where we kind of just talked super fast about all the really amazing things that Nick's doing with AI to change the way in which we see the web, building themes at a radical pace. We're using the word radical because Automatic right now is in our radical speed month where we're all pairing off and kind of building whatever it is that we want that's innovative and customer serving. Nick, thank you and welcome back. We were just talking about regionallyfamous.com, your website, and how it's not structured like any other website. It's like giving you permission to kind of do some weird and cool things. We're using the word weird, and it means so much more to me than I think the typical definition. It's something that I treasure about the old web, is that, you know, it was an expression of ourselves and what it is that we wanted to see. And there's so much power with the way in which the web is shaped, the code that we can use, the technology, the design, and yet we're still building sterile websites. But one of the things we talked about quickly was that you're building, you know, a theme every 5 minutes, it seems like, with AI right now. But what is the end goal with your project for Radical Speed Month this month? Like, what is the actual defined goal for the project?
Well, I mean, the goal is just basically make. So, I mean, I want to show people that, because whenever you bring up something, it's always about, we don't have the people, this, and I want to show them that the next time you hear someone say that, say, are you using AI? And if the answer is no, then that's their answer. Because I feel like, because again, like there's probably no developers, designers, whatever, have free time to work on themes. That's probably why it hasn't gotten done. But like, I want to show you that you don't need that. You just need credits. Like,
yeah.
we can, like I guarantee you. I mean, I while we're talking, I think I had it queued up to make a 5-theme batch, and like while we've been doing this podcast, it made 5 themes that back in the day would take. I mean, if I could, because again, since I left Automatic the first time, I kept trying to hire people, and I would find a couple people, and then we'd make something cool, and then they would get hired away by some. I mean, I don't know how many times someone that I made something cool with got poached by mostly by hosts, to be honest. But now it's to the point where, like, I don't even have to go and find anybody. I can literally just spin up another deal, and it's done. Like, I'm just like absolutely fast. So the main goal is to show people that who are like AI naysayers that the answer to every single problem you have is not more resources, it's more AI. But the byproduct is, I want to go, like, original goal was like 50 themes, but I think I could do 500. And some people on X were like, oh, it's all going to be slop and this and that. It's like, no, they're going to be nice themes, and they're all going to be different. Like, one of the gates is actually a differentiation gate where it can't look like another theme. Like, they're all going to be different aesthetics. They're going to be for different markets. Like, one thing people don't do a lot of is catalog size. Like, there's some of them that are meant for, like, I only have 1 product, or I only have 3 products. Like, sometimes, like, oh, I have a shop page that shows the latest 20 products. Like, I only have 3. Like, there has to be a way to show, like, products like that differently. And I feel so, like, it's taking all those things into account, and I guarantee you that there'll be an uptick in signups, in retention. Because again, I feel like a lot of people they want something, and we're not giving it to them, and we can. Like, there's nothing stopping us with AI, which is like, and as I was talking to you, I just remembered something where my first foray in trying to get back into the Automatic sphere is I wanted to create my own hosting company with WP Cloud. And so at the time, my idea was that you would create, like, you know how back in the day Media Temple was like all the creatives were on it. Like it felt
Yes.
like all the cool kids had to be on whatever. So I was like, you know what? If it's this easy to spin up, like because back in the day, I don't know, I tried every VPS and whatever those like cPanel things. It's like, but now with like WP Cloud, it's like I could make like a hosting service that's only for the idea I had was people who like Pokemon cards. So and I was like, I could do all this, but the problem is like AI was just like starting around then. So I was waiting for you guys to build. What was it called? Something Station.
Station.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Station. And so I was waiting for you guys to build Station. And I was like, now, like, you guys have an API and I have AI. I could actually do that. Like an idea that was I thought, you know what? I gave up on it because like the stuff wasn't there. It's like I could build like bespoke hosting companies. All I gotta do is think up because the idea was to think up like a name and just build one landing page and then build themes that serve that community. So you know what? Hey, I like Star Trek, and so like it's an LCARS theme. Like, how easy would it be to sell somebody hosting for a platform for like the things they already want to talk about in a design that already speaks to them? I was like, that'd be like shooting fish in a barrel. So
Well, I mean, you're nailing it, right? Because every single hosting company that you look at right now is selling a universal solution to everyone, right? It's the same exact thing. Of course, there's differences in the way in which you configure the infrastructure and how much speed and bandwidth and things that you need. But that has nothing to do with the end product. It has nothing to do with the way in which the website looks and feels and taste and touch, all of that stuff that goes into it. That's not impacting it. And so you're right, though, like a hosting company would have been challenged to have created, 60, 70, 80, 100 different niche solutions, 5 years ago. But now the problem that they're going to face is that Nick is going to go and build 100 hosting companies with WP Cloud's turnkey hosting solution, which, by the way, shameless plug, like, you were waiting for Station. We ended up pivoting Station into it's just so everybody knows at home, Station is a WordPress powered hosting panel that is completely white labeled for WP Cloud. But we ended up pivoting it. Instead of it being like a production level solution, it's more of a reverse engineering solution, so that a hosting company who comes in and wants to put WP Cloud underneath their platform, they can look at Station as, this is how we would build it. Here's how we would interpret the API endpoints and display the user interface and things like that. So you can go and build it yourself. And in the meantime, two companies went and built their own panels. Panel Alpha and RT Camp have released white labeled panels that allow for turnkey hosting. So you can go and bolt that on, go with WP Cloud, and you can launch a hosting company in like a week, maybe even less. And so, now I think you're saying like go and build niche solutions for everything. And you mentioned Star Trek, right? Like that's a pretty niche, right? Like, but like I could imagine, like, how different would it be if you were running like a Star Trek Trek convention, right? Like, and you have a choice between X hosting company that's just offering hosting versus the Star Trek convention hosting panel, and it's a no-brainer at that point because you built
100%.
exactly what it is. And so the underlying infrastructure, the part that they don't see, can all be the same for everybody. That's fine. But the layer that they're actually interacting with on top is hyper specific to their needs. And it's not just about the fact that you're speeding up their time to live, which we talked about before, but you're actually speaking their language. That's the part that we're missing right now.
100%. And now that I'm running through it in my mind, it's like, I guarantee you that I could do it in like 3 hours with like $40. Like you could make the WordPress theme and the landing page and then hook up to one of those panels. Like it blows my mind how easy things are nowadays.
Right.
And like, why is everybody competing on the same things? Like, Star Trek is a small niche, but like, how many people do you have to make you know what I mean? Like, how many niches to have so many people? Like, you could build a whole business around this, and then you're not fighting the same people, because again, it's not apples and oranges. If they want a hosting solution that is for Trekkies like only, and it has like customizable themes that only exist here, they're not. There's no churn.
Right.
Unless they all of a sudden wake up one day and have a stroke and like Star Wars instead. Like, that's not going to happen. You got it for life.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I think that we're talking about Star Trek, but like you could expand that to any industry out there. And so like instead of you talked about like how every single theme out there seems to look like a cafe or like a reservation restaurant, but like you could have your Mexican food truck theme versus your I don't know, trying to think, like barbecue food truck or
Yeah.
whatever. Like you can attack these people exactly where they are and what they're asking for. And the interesting thing is that the more people are using I would imagine that AI itself would actually respond quite well to this, because when you say I'm a food truck owner and I need a food truck hosted, so like I need a website for my food truck, if AI is going to go out and do the search and they have
Yeah.
a choice between, universal hosting company that provides just bland hosting. I don't want to say bland hosting, but like,
Yeah.
simple
Regular. Yeah.
hosting,
Sure.
regular hosting versus food truck hosting. Like,
Yeah.
how is the AI not going to choose that as the solution?
100%. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's like that's why I'm so surprised no one's done. Again, I know why they haven't done it yet, because like big companies move slow, and that's
Big
why.
companies move
Yeah,
slow. And frankly, and I might be pissing off a lot of my audience, but let's be real, hosting companies move slow.
yeah,
Hosting companies move amazingly slow. And I think the reason is that because they've spent years fine-tuning their conversion flows and the way in which people interact with it. Their
yeah,
advertising is so well tweaked. Like anytime that you talk to a hosting company about changing something on a landing page, it's 16 layers of bureaucracy that you got to get through, and people who are, you know, fine-tuned every single thing, and it makes it impossibly hard to change things there. But I think the really cool thing about AI is that all of the work that's involved in building an experiment is actually so much faster now. So
yeah,
like you don't have to go, like if you own nickhosting.com, right? And it's a well-established brand and it's been around forever, you don't have to do this on that brand. You can just go build another brand.
yeah,
Like just go do it somewhere else and see if it
100%.
works, right?
Yeah,
So I guess the big question then I think everybody at home is probably thinking to themselves is like, okay, so you're working at a rapid pace, you're doing all this stuff, you're building these things super fast. What about quality assurance? Like how is that being solved?
but that's this one like really upsets me because it's so freaking easy. Like
Yeah.
when I was first doing like WordPress plugins, people were like, oh, it's all going to be insecure and whatever. It's like all the things that you have to watch out for are known. Like it's not whatever. So like the first thing I did when I started making plugins is I took the what do they call it? Plugin check plugin. That's like the plugin that checks other plugins before you can submit to the repo. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
basically, I built an MCP and I said, okay, take everything this thing checks for and make me like all the whatever. I was like, it's like just make sure that no matter what I do, not that it catches it and fixes it, but don't do it. Like don't not sanitize inputs and outputs, like all the things you're not supposed to do. And then every time it makes good stuff. Even I took it one step further because people kept saying like, oh, this is obviously AI coded because of X, Y, and Z. So I said, hey, I want you to take all the things that are like a sign that something's AI coded. Like if it's like too big of classes or too verbose of whatever the coding whatever things, and like don't do that. It's like that's what I understand. Like that's why it makes me so upset when people say that. Like if you feel that AI is making bad code, then help people make good code. Like
Yeah, yeah.
my dream for Studio is I was like, guys, I think Studio's cool. I like local development, I like whatever, but like I want you to add that layer where if someone's developing with it, that it makes sure the AI can't do anything bad. Like it's so easy. Like we know all the things to watch out for. Why can't you have what I don't know what the technology is, MCP or whatever it is that says, hey, before you build this, this is everything you need to know about making good WordPress sites. Okay, have at it, and there'll be no
Yeah.
there'll be no bad code. And I think that yeah, when people say that AI makes bad code so you shouldn't use AI, that's not the answer. The answer is make it do good stuff, make it do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, the interesting thing is that the way in which we as human beings write code, right, is that we use best practices. We've developed patterns. We know the types of things that we need to do to avert security flaws and things like that. But
Yep.
it requires a certain level of education, diligence. You have to be very, careful with what you're doing. But the thing about AI is that it has a full understanding of every vulnerability that's ever existed. And
Hmm.
and we're using AI to patch problems across the internet, not just in the WordPress space, but everywhere, right? So AI is fully capable of understanding any kind of security issues and things like that. And you can run your own tests to do that. The only problem though that we face, I think, as humans is whether or not we are confident in the fact that the AI is actually doing it well, right? Because
Yeah.
like we don't necessarily have the ability to say, like if you're not a developer with a computer science background who has a familiarity with security, right? Like it would be hard to know whether or not the AI actually did what it said it was going to do.
Oh,
But
for
I
sure.
think but I think that there are definitely ways around that. Like you're talking about MCP servers, there's skills docs out there. There's
Yeah.
other things out there that are written by computer science experts who can take their know, that know how to build this stuff, and then you can apply those skills to your project and make sure that it's actually doing it in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like more bad code is written by junior developers that like just don't know it than AI. Because again, I think the AI's problem is that when you first start it up, it's like I'm gonna do this the quickest, whatever possible, and then if you don't tell security is a concern, they're not gonna worry about it. Like what's that old joke that I told the AI to get rid of all the bugs and it deleted the whole code base? Like yeah, that is the shortest way to do it, but like you just got to tell it. And again, that's why, and also too, models are getting so much smarter. Like it's gotten to the point where, like sometimes I don't even have to tell it because it already knows. Like it's already written in as yeah. It's just a again. It's one of those things that again I feel bad because people are scared. Like people are thinking, hey, I'm going to lose my job or AI is going to do this and that. And I feel like if people understand that AI is actually going to unlock your job, it's going to allow you to do things that you could never do before. Like I forget who it was. I think it was like the CEO of NVIDIA was saying that like people who ran out of ideas, they're going to fire people. But like the companies that are going to use the same people to do more, those are the ones that you want to like work with. Those are the companies that are going to do well. And so that's why like I'm not concerned about it in the slightest. But I might just be saying that because when the AIs take over, I'll make sure they know I'm on their side. But
well, I think also though you've always been the ideas guy, right? Like you've always had something brewing, something going on, something fun. I mean, are you working like 3,000 hours a week? Like, how are you doing this? Doing all this stuff? Where are you learning it?
oh, I don't. I'm just doing it. Like I have no. That's like most of the time. And the fun thing is too, I don't really have to learn it. Like, just my AI has to learn it. Like I don't know how any of this stuff works. Like sometimes it will write some code in a language I've never heard of, but it works. So I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that. Like I have no. And the sad thing, not sad thing. People probably say I'm working too much, but like I'm having so much fun. Like I literally,
you've tapped into a passion for yourself.
Yeah, so I think like it doesn't really matter because it's. I mean, again, I take my computer to bed with me and I have it run stuff. I'm having it do stuff while I'm sitting here. Because the fun thing is like it's a lot of work, but it does a lot of stuff on its own. Like as long as I like check in every once in a while to say, hey, how you doing? Can you go do this? Can you go do that? I mean, it is bad that I had a very nice laptop. It was fine. But I traded in for one with 48 gigs of RAM and an M5 Pro Max because I just want to have more parallel jobs at the same time. So now I can just do like it's crazy how much stuff I can get done. Someday I'm gonna go have GitHub added up how many lines of code I've written. It's absolutely because like the fun thing is like the latest one is called Odd, and it actually like absorbed like the last 4 projects. Because like whatever I learned from that, like it's not enough to be a standalone thing, but like I took everything I learned there and I put it forward towards this other thing, which is so fun. Because again, like if someone, let's say like in the past, I don't know, I hired people to make stuff and I spent like, I think I figured I spent like 20, 30, 40,000 dollars, something crazy. So if I spent $5,000 to develop the plugin I made last week, I would not abandon it. But it's like it only cost me $100 in credits. It's fine. Like I learned something. Yeah, right. Like that's why like it's so fun that like I feel a lot of times you're like so like wrapped up in how much time and effort something is that you can't like let it go. And it's like it didn't work. Like let's move on to the next thing. And it's just it's just like super fun that I don't have to always keep looking over my shoulder worried about. Like sometimes too, I think people don't try new things because they're worried about what's going to cost. Like now, literally, like you can prove out in a concept for $50. Like that's cheaper than some people's coffee budget. Like it's fascinating.
And I think that, when you think about what it costs, right, it's money, but it's also time. And so I think one of the things that AI unlocks for you is that, once you start to get into it at a level where you're actually producing stuff, you're able to move so much faster than you've ever been able to move before. So it accelerates that. And so your time is money. And so you're doing so much more in such a short time. And this is something we talked about in the last episode with Miriam Schwab from Elementors, is that like, you can use AI to build like a team of people to work under you, right? She mentioned before in the episode that she was a independent contributor and she didn't have direct reports, but now she has all these AI agents working for her. And so like she is kind of like a team lead, but to these agents. And so those are not people who necessarily, the agents haven't replaced the jobs of actual people. They're just empowering her to do more than she's ever been able to do before.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm missing from this AI world is I want someone to build like a persistent way. So if I build like an agent, like I can make sure he's going to be around forever. Like I know what I mean. Like they're like an identity layer that no matter what model, whatever, like I know that Tim's always going to be there with me. I think that would be a billion-dollar business. I want that to be Gravatar. I thought that would be so cool if like that was the.
What's so funny is I was thinking about this exact thing, and Gravatar came to mind for me. So for people who don't know what Gravatar is, it started as a way to have like a universal avatar across all WordPress websites and other things, and now it's grown from that. It's a link in bio. It's like a persistent identity on the web that kind of like traverses all these other mediums. And so you pump in basically all your email addresses. And so when you sign into websites that use Gravatar, your face is always there, your information is always there. And that made me think about all the things that my agents have learned about me, like my preferences, the way in which I like to travel, the things I like to do, the way in which I write emails or whatever. If I could have that exist across all the mediums that I'm eventually going to be using, right? So I could take that with me. That is huge. That's enormous, right? Because like, I think right now, like we're all thinking about like how we're using agents in our own little world, but soon, every time you go to a website or anytime you go to use a product or whatever, there's going to be an agent there asking you questions, or you're going to be doing something. And if you could port your preferences and the things that you like and the things that it's learned about you and have it just be immediately accessible, then you don't have to teach it anything each time, right? Like it'll just know what it is that you're hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, no. So do you have an RSM project yet? Let's do it.
I do have an RSM project. It's actually a little bit different. What it is I don't know if I should even, whatever, I'll just dump into it. But basically it's, instead of having the need to go hunt and peck around a website, like knowing what to search for, navigation, trying to decide how the website works, all this other stuff. Instead, it's much more of a build it for you in real time kind of situation. So, so you arrive at the website, you click a few buttons, it understands your intent, your motivations, things like that, and it'll kind of unveils itself. It gives you the information that you're looking for. And so there is no like multiple pages. It's kind of like this live stream of content pushed to you in real time.
That's awesome. And that is also very ripe territory for fun. Like you could have like a scroll on whatever, like one of those, what's that deal? Like it was like all the different stairs, you know what I mean? Like it'd be fun if it had like a little song and dance before it gave you what you wanted to know, that it made it seem like it was, or old school like Tron kind of vibe. Oh, that'd be so much fun. No, I think that's really fun. No, I mean, again, like I feel the same way. That's what. So when me and Rich talk about things, it always comes back to like things he wants to fix, like in the WordPress UI. And I'm like, I don't know if it's worth spending a lot of time on, because someday the entire WordPress backend is just going to be a text box. Like you're just going to talk. You know what I'm saying? You're going to say, I want to create a post on whatever. You're not going to have to go and find the menu. You're not going to have to go and find the deal. So like, why wouldn't the front end change too? Like the front end's just going to be, you just tell me what I want, and I'm not going to have to go and find the pages. Like it's just going to be there.
Well, I mean, this is a great opportunity to ask you this question, because I get this question all the time. Like, what are websites going to look like in a year, in 5 years? Like, are we going to have the same looking responsive web design kind of reshaping as you are on a mobile device and having links and, or is it going to be something completely different? And I think, the way in which we converse with an AI kind of, paints a picture of what it might be in the future. Right now, when you go into Claude and you ask it a question, right, it responds back to you in text. Sometimes it uses like a graphical interface, it drops an image in or something like that. But like there's endless possibilities with what a website could be in the future. And I think at least for me, I want to hear what you have to say. It's very hard for me to define it, because I don't think there's going to be any one specific answer to that question. I think the way you interpret it, or the way in which you traverse the web in the future, is going to be based on the creator and not necessarily like a structural foundation that you have to abide by.
I mean, for me, I think it's going to be like, you know how there's people that still listen to records even though we have streaming. There's people that like physical books and whatever. I feel like the web's going to be kind of like that. It's going to look however you want to look. So like for me, I'm always going to have it look like the old web. Like even if there's a way where just agents talk to agents, and there could be no, like you wouldn't even have to go and look at something. Like it could all just be like, I talk to an agent, it talks to your agent, and then tells me the information. I feel like it's going to be people like me, they're going to keep like the old fun, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be like very like similar to the way it is now, but like it's going to be on another level technology wise, where like it's almost like a choose your own adventure novel. So like when they land on it, that might be a kind of a fun thing too for your plugin. Like it could be like a deal, like before like the old school books, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna pick A,
Right.
B, C, and then the website turns to page 85, and that's the thing that you want.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's gonna get like, you would think that it would be more like Star Trek, where there's like nothing, like it's just a computer talking to a computer. But I feel like if we embrace the creativity of it, it's gonna become even more like the way we want it to be.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't ever want to have Regionally Famous be like there's nothing but like a chat box and you talk to an AI. Like I always want it to be like wacky and weird, and I want to like if it's easier to generate images, I'm gonna go and do whatever. Like I don't know how many. Like I think I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like wlog.fm. I made like WordPress music. Like you know what I'm saying? Like all the different things that you can generate. I think I'm just gonna keep doing more of that. Especially if it's easier. But I feel like for like the normal stuff, like if you're gonna go and hey, I want to go and pay my bill online, the water company's not gonna have a website. They're just gonna have a whatever you call talking to an agent. Like I don't know what the like the phone number or whatever is gonna be of those days. But you know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna have it. But I think the websites are gonna be like whatever we want. And I hope that we want to keep it weird and wacky and fun. I hope that's not gonna be whatever dystopian movie is the flavor of the week. Like I want it to be interesting and fun and quirky. And I think again, everything comes back around. You think about all the trends that like were big 30 years ago, and so I'm hoping that like all the things that made us invent the internet. You know what I mean? We didn't invent it to be sold products on social media. We didn't invent it to go on whatever. Like we did it because we wanted to have our own little corner of the world that was like my favorite thing in the world is going on the archive.org and trying to find like old science fiction deals from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like objectively horrendous from a usability and design and like they were like sometimes you would have every deal of the menu a different font. It's like, but that was fun. Like I feel like we can find a happy medium where it's not like assaulting your eyes, but it's also not like killing your soul. And so I'm just excited to find that.
I think you're right. I think you can strike a balance there of accessibility, but completely weird stuff. I mean, I remember back when I was a kid building websites in high school. There was a scholarship competition to build the university I was applying to their new news website, like for their university newspaper, and the one that they chose ended up looking like something more like a bank website. Like it was so bland and like just, I don't know, sterile is the word I keep going back to. Mine was so freaking cool, like so cool, man. Like it was like you pressed a button and the newspaper flew from one side to the other and a dog caught it. And like, this is back in like the late 90s. You know what I mean? Like when that stuff was hard, it was not easy to make things move.
Oh, for sure.
I felt like it was so much, anyways, it was an expression of what I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that, I think we've lost that along the way. And I think one thing that AI can do is not only have it be an expression of the person who's building the website, but be an expression of the visitor, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can define for it what you like about the web, how you want it to be formatted, how you want it to look. And maybe they can, have this universal understanding of that. And the website can actually like conform to your desires and what it is that you want to come from it.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Like for me, I would never want to visit a boring website. I wouldn't have to. Because like they would talk to my AI beforehand and say, you know what, Nick, okay, guys, Nick's coming to this website and he's a little bit eccentric. Okay, don't show him no sans serif fonts. Don't show him no beige. Like everything has to be whatever. And then that'd be so cool.
Well, what's funny is this is a good opportunity to share an idea because I had this idea recently and my initial gut feeling is always like, oh, keep it to yourself because somebody will steal it. But the reality of the situation is the more you share it, the more likely it'll actually just happen. Yeah. And I want this to happen is that, especially with WordPress, right? Like so much of our data, the content itself is well-formatted semantic language, right? RSS still exists, right? We don't use RSS nearly as much as we should, but it still exists. So, you can think about a future where instead of having a typical browser like Chrome just kind of like design the website based on the way in which the person designed the website. Instead, like you could have your own design of a website and then use that semantic language to put everything in the same place no matter what. So like if you're tired of seeing ads popping up, right? Like this would be a way to strip all that out because you're just looking at pure content. And you could have like the same calls to action, same place. Like you could design the web page yourself and have it be unbelievably beautiful and weird and everything else. And then anytime that you visit a web page, like the semantic data just kind of like fills the content in so that it's your experience no matter what. Like it would be interesting because like you'd end up seeing a lot of the same kind of like experiencing the same thing over and over again. But at the same time, like you're stripping away all the crap that people keep putting and layering on top of it, trying to get you to click things and everything else. And you're giving people back like the ability to like see the web through their own eyes, the way in which they want to. Anyways, my point is we have the data hidden in like XML format or RSS, or we have it like that. We could layer our own designs over all of it any way we wanted to.
Yeah, no, I think that's I have so many ideas with that right now. It's so much fun. So this is kind of related, but did you ever use Microsoft Bob as a kid?
No.
Maybe it was before your time. So it was a crazy experiment. So the fun fact, that's actually where Comic Sans came from. Is they created it for that piece of software.
Yeah. Okay.
So they want to reimagine how the desktop worked. So like when you went on there, it was like a house. So like instead of like you click on a deal, like it was totally cool. And I almost feel like, what if we did the same thing? Like we figure out. Like first of all, like let's say WordPress 7.2 has a way that not only does it package up like the posts and the RSS, but like all the other stuff. The links or whatever, and then you just ingest that into your Microsoft Bob world. Like you have you have Jesse's world, and you say, you know what? Anytime you see an ad, there's like a little TV over a trash, and that's where the ads go. And like you know what? wherever you see a link, it's like kind of like a little Blue's Clues style notebook in the corner. Like that would be so fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you know, if you don't like weird and you want it to look fine. It's up to you. It's like how 100%. You want it to be. And the only thing that you have to, as a web designer, understand is that, like, as long as your data is formatted in a way that it's, I mean, at this point, it doesn't even matter because AI can read it and
100%,
anyway, and pump it into anything. But I think there's something there. I haven't quite put my finger on exactly how it should function, but I think there's something there in the way in which we can, you know, take it to a new, like, readers, right? Like we have like the WordPress.com reader, right? Like it pulls in blog posts from all these, and you can subscribe to all these things in one place. But even the WordPress.com reader, right, it looks exactly the same way for every single person. And so it always has a featured image and the date and the title and everything. But like you could have it be any, like maybe you don't give a crap about the date, right? Like so you just throw that out and like and you find different elements to like exacerbate. And I do remember what you're talking about now with Microsoft Bob. Like it literally looked like someone's living room, right?
Yeah. Yep. With the little dog and the whatever
you wanted with it. So like if you wanted it to be, you know, I don't know. I think we should keep pushing on it because I think there's something there around that might be the way in which we think about it. Because if you think about the way in which you talk to AI today, right? You ask it a question, you say, I want to buy, you know, some product to solve some problem or whatever. Claude is going to, or ChatGPT or whatever, is going to go reach out into the internet, find that information and bring it back to you. But again, that leaves you in a situation where you're interacting with it all through a user interface that looks exactly the same every single time. There's no opportunity to customize it or make it weird or whatever. So like, I think you get like the benefits of all that stuff, but like you could have it be like your lens. It goes through your lens, right? Like it's your way of viewing the internet, and you can change it anytime you want to. Like if it's not working for you, you do something else, or you do holiday themes or whatever. But like, I don't know, it just gives you the ability to kind of like suck in the data and have fun with it without having to like look at everything through the same.
Oh, I'm sold. I think what I would do is like the first step.
RSM round 2, you and me.
Yeah. We already have RSS. I think the first step, let's make a reader that displays posts in like a way no one would expect. Like I was just thinking while I was sitting here, like what if what I want to be is like a cable access television. It shows the featured image as like cable access television, and then it uses an API to read me what's in the blog. I think that would be hilarious, especially like if it's like based on like an old news guy's voice or like an MTV VJ or. I think that would be like hilarious. Now how easy that would be. We could have that done this afternoon.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, is that you wouldn't even have to have it presented as like actual visual content. Like you could have something actually talk to you. Like you could have, Alex Trebek from Jeopardy, like asking
Yeah.
you questions and and reading your answers or whatever, right? Like you could
Yeah.
do whatever. There's no limit at that point of what you can do.
Because I feel like it's the same thing that I'm always going to say is that everything lost its fun factor. Like
Yeah.
I would read more news if it was presented in a fun way. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
do. There's lots of things that I should be doing that I would do if it was fun. And so I
Well, I
feel
mean,
like
and that's true for education too. Like, well,
yeah,
my daughter, she shares these video essays where people are like, creating comic book characters who are like, not comic book characters, but stick figures who are like,
yeah,
telling these stories of history. Like Julius Caesar was one that we watched recently, and it's like it's factually true,
yeah,
right? It's good history,
yep,
but it's told through this like stick figure comic book type thing, and they're just having so much fun with it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I just remember seeing this like thing where like Caesar gets stabbed, and he's just like he has this expression on his face, like I don't know, it just made me laugh, right? Like,
uh-huh,
but like I'll never forget that video, right? And the things I learned in it were reinforced by the humor and the fun and weirdness of it.
yep,
That's something that we lose so quickly when we move to like universal solutions for people, the same curriculum
yeah.
for everybody, the same textbook for everybody, the same website for everybody. Like we lose so much value in the ability to convey ideas when we do that.
Could you imagine a Jetpack plugin that literally you push publish, it sends the thing off, it goes and generates all the stick figure whatever deals, and then sends
Yeah.
it back to you, and then you can say, hey, do you want to read this or do you want to experience this?
Right.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but I'm saying like that's what like because again I get myself in trouble a lot, but like Jetpack, like we're literally selling the same crap everybody does. Okay, nobody needs a CDN, nobody needs a whatever. But like, what if we create something that of course it's going to be niche. Okay, not everyone's going to want it, but like they can't get it anywhere else in the world. I guarantee you that would drive signups if you go and create interesting, fun things that. Especially if AI makes it, like let's say I just had to go and I just had like all a human had to do was think of the idea, and everything else was automated. Like
Yeah.
you could try so many things, especially
Yeah.
if you put it like behind like a labs tab. So like you know what, if no one likes it, it goes away quietly.
Right. You label it with labs, right?
Yeah,
Then
it's like sorry.
basically it's free permission to do whatever you want.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay. We'll
Yeah.
do that. We'll do that for next month. I'm pretty sure that I keep saying radical speed month's going to turn into radical speed year. That's
I hope
that's
so.
my prediction because I think that the people like the stuff I've already seen has like blown me away, and I'm like some of these people that were working in like the most boring fields in the world, and then they pull this out of their hat. I was like, where have they been hiding?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I want to see more. I want to see what the next idea is. I want to see what happens if you get a room full of these people together.
Right.
Like I think it's gonna be wacky, but
Yeah, man.
I think
That's
we're
right.
over. I think we're over on time. Sorry.
We are way over on time, but this conversation is so much fun. Let's do it again soon. Let's have you back
Sure.
on the show.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yep. See.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Impressive Hosting, where we uncover the core tenets of great WordPress hosting. Do you have a follow-up question for today's guest, thought or comment on anything we talked about, a future guest suggestion, a hosting horror story? What do you think makes great WordPress hosting? All your comments shape this show. Drop them on impressive.host. We also appreciate you following us on social media and subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform. Finally, do check out our list of open source projects that need support at impressive.host. Whether it's code, community, or cache, you can make a difference. See you next time.